This is going to be a life/career update for my viewers who might have been following my career path since I started uploading on YouTube. And if you guys are still watching my content, first of all, much appreciated. I don't know how many people are actually watching me. I don't know how many of these people are people that know me in real life, you fucking stalkers. Or I don't know if any of these people have been my employers. And if you are, respond to my emails and stop stalking me on YouTube, because that's just weird. Anyways, oh yeah, updates. Wanted to talk about the software engineering / web development journey that I've been on, and then going to just talk about where I am and the possible future of what is to come on this YouTube channel, just to keep everyone in the loop. Whoa, this camera angle is all over the place. This is unedited, but I'm eating dinner right now. I made a burger. Alright. Hold on, let me chew my food. There's no budget for editing here. We don't have a budget for that. Well, alright. So, for like the last good 5-6 months, I was contracting as a web developer, working on like building web components for Shopify stores and for this company that ran their stuff on like a proprietary code base. Everything was custom built. I was not making a lot of money, but I was coding and I was getting paid for it. I was getting by, and I was hoping that this was the opportunity to work temporarily as a contractor and eventually get hired on as a permanent web developer and have more steady pay. For a while, I was getting a lot of work and I was doing a really good job. I was in constant communication with the employer, but I was still a 1099 contractor. But sadly, with everything that's going on in the economy and the market and just everything just sucks, work stopped coming my way. Everything went silent. My other contractors that I was in contact with kind of finished off whatever they were working on, and they went silent. There's just nothing coming through because nobody's really selling anything, and I think a lot of like business owners don't want to hire new employees, and they put a pause to all future projects, especially anything related to like their website or any updates or adding any new features to whatever business model they currently have. All of that just stopped, and that trickles down to developers such as me, because believe it or not, if you're a developer, you're a luxury. Like, you're not as essential as you think, because a company could run and still sell stuff online without having to update anything. They don't have to update a single thing as long as they keep their inventory stacked. They don't even have to update their homepage. They can have the same banner, they can have the same layout for the next 5 years. If they have dedicated customers, they're going to sell stuff, and revenue will flow. They won't grow, but they will kind of, coast by. And then that's what's happening, because the economy, with the tariffs, with the Iran stuff, with the uncertainty of the future with AI, all these companies are like, we're gonna just slow down and stop, and however we make money now, let's just keep doing it, but let's just not do anything else. So that's what happened. There is not, like, basically I went from being a contractor to secretly becoming unemployed again, and it kind of just snuck up on me. So that's where I am. And then What I wanted to mention for my followers was my thoughts on programming and the software engineering space. But before then, I just want to say I've been job hunting and pivoting my career. I have the opportunity to work as a assistant. I have an interview tomorrow. Hopefully, it goes well. But if it doesn't, I'm going to pursue a career in just being a general office assistant, sort of just someone filing paperwork, and that will be my life in the meantime. But I have a lot of side hobbies and projects and ambitions. Your career doesn't define who you are, it just defines how much money you get at the end of the week, which doesn't really mean much if you're not living a life. But what I wanted to say was for those who are self taught developers or who are very, very new to the industry, who are not geniuses, but the average person that is coming from a background of just being HTML, JavaScript, CSS, those guys. I don't think the future is bright for people like us, for the entry level developers who are self taught, who just want to build simple websites. And this might be a negative video, but it is, I think, from a place of authenticity, because I have worked several positions as a web developer, and I am good at what I do. I am not the best, but I am good at what I do. And from my personal experience and from what I've seen, is that pocket within programming and web development, that pocket of building websites with React and stuff, that's dead. Unless you have the ambition and the drive to become like a Python developer or a machine learning a machine learning engineer, which will require even more effort and work and stress. You're probably not going to be able to land just the jobs that you had before, which is obvious. But what I wanted to say is that there's a lot of false optimism on the internet, because there's this like politics. There's a side that's anti-AI, saying AI is like it's like WordPress. You could build websites with it, but it's not going to be the best. It'll be useful if you know what you're doing, but it's not going to be the end of the world. There's the other side of this whole spectrum of conversation where people are like, AI will replace my whole family and my kids and my wife. Those people are a little bit delusional. But there is a reality, and that's going to be my opinion, that AI will destroy enough jobs and will be able to replace enough jobs that you and I will have to pivot in what we do for a living. And believe it or not, a lot of people have already pivoted in silence, and it's not making the headlines. But tell me, go look at the top 5 most popular software engineering YouTubers that you used to watch in 2016 and go search them up now. They're not programming anymore. I used to watch a handful of software engineering YouTubers that don't even write code. They disappeared. They went MIA. One dude got canceled and he's selling shoes in Thailand. You know his name. One dude just quit. I don't know where he is. One guy just does streams. He just watches the Maury show and just reacts to it. There's so many people that secretly pivoted, and they're not even in the industry, and at one point they were like the face of web development and software engineering, and you don't see them anymore. The other thing I wanted to talk about to reinforce this opinion of mine is go to the CS Career Questions subreddit on Reddit. Oh, hold on. Let me, alright, hopefully you can see this, but there's so many people that are like, having a panic attack. You know, there's so many discussions where it's like talking about what jobs will survive. The culture is getting worse. I'm gonna just read the headlines because I'm not gonna dive into these threads. Where did Joma Tech, the YouTuber, go? Exactly what I was talking about. There's the devil's advocate of saying, there's a lot of posts saying AI is whatever. You're always gonna have that. This is the big one I wanted to talk about, but I'm gonna talk about it in a bit. It's the Google offering buyouts to U.S. employees. That's the one I'm gonna end off the video with. Look at this one. My manager has not talked to me in 1 month. Bro's gonna get laid off. Oh, look at this one. 4 years I worked at Meta, laid off, and now I work at a dog food company. I am depressed. All right. That I didn't even go down the rabbit hole. That's just the front page of the subreddit. I didn't selectively like pick what page to be on. That's literally the first thing you see when you go on CS Career Questions. And you could say, oh, this is just doom and gloom. People on Reddit don't represent the real world. And you may be right. But the real world is also reflecting this sort of attitude towards the industry. And I'm going to bring up the big one. What is real world stuff is this stuff right here. Google offers buyouts to more workers amid AI driven blah 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 and uncertainty. And what's important is that let's see what they're saying. Okay, I can't find the number. Damn it. But the important crucial detail is that trying to find the number at Wall Street. Google employs most of them. Okay. So there's no number yet, but if you could read here, it says it's not clear how many employees were affected, but the offers were made to staff in the search, advertising, research, and engineering units. So Google is, if you don't know what that means, Google is offering their employees money to get the F out, to stop working for them. Hey, we don't want you. Here's money so you could go home and kick rocks and go on vacation. Do whatever you want with this big chunk of money. Whatever it is, we don't want you in here. We don't want you to work for us. We don't want you to program for us. We don't care. We just want you out. We want you out so bad that we will pay you to get out. So this is important because Google is one of the biggest tech companies in the whole world, if not the biggest. And whenever they do something like this, smaller companies will follow in their footsteps. So you don't necessarily have to be a Google employee to be affected by this. It's sort of how, I'm not like, this is a good example. If you're an investor in stocks in the stock market, and all of a sudden Warren Buffett sells a shit ton of a certain stock, you don't know why. He's just selling it. He doesn't like it. He wants it out of his portfolio. Guess what? Other investors will do the same thing. It's going to affect the stock prices, and it's a snowball effect. Eventually, it will hit your portfolio in whether a good way or bad way, depending on what stocks you're holding. Same thing with the software industry. Once a big company like Google does something like this, other companies are going to follow. They're going to say, you know what, if Google doesn't want their top engineers, then we don't want our engineers. And maybe we could let go of our engineers and hire the Google engineers that were just let go at a cheaper price for a good deal. So that's a snowball effect. It trickles down to every single company. And when it comes down to you who taught yourself how to do one-page application using React or Vue, or you just learned CSS, you just learned how to build a Bootstrap layout, and you spent 6 months doing this, you're not going to have a chance. You're not going to have a chance. A lot of senior engineers that I worked with are not going to have a chance. On LinkedIn, I've seen lead engineers that I've worked with open to work, looking for new opportunities, and then one even said, I'm not even working, I'm on a mental health journey. And then where does that put people who were average developers? It puts you in a spot where you're going to be applying for jobs that have nothing to do with programming because that field is dead for you. Now, is the field dead? No. Here's what the field is not dead to. It's not dead to people who are geniuses. It's not dead to people who went to an Ivy League school. It's not dead to people who have a good network in the industry. You know, maybe their friend is the VP of the tech department or a CTO. You know, if you're those people, you could probably make it. It's not dead to people who built a SaaS company and they're famous. You know, if you're famous, you can make it in the industry. But if you're not any of those things and you're just average, you're not going to make it. And you might be like, that's obvious. But the reason why this career path was enticing to a lot of people is because it was promoted as you don't have to be smart. You just have to know the how websites work. And if you know how to build a website and jump in the code base and understand what these statements mean and the logic means, and you know how to write a function to render a component, you could probably get hired. And if you have a good eye for design and you know how to make a button that's pixel perfect to the Photoshop design, then you're good to go. You could get your foot in the door. Guess what? That's not it anymore. And that's what attracted a lot of people in the first place. But now the attitude is you have to become a data scientist. You have to know how to code AI and use AI to get a good job in this field. My opinion, this is a devil's advocate opinion, the same amount of effort to go in that, you just become a lawyer. You could become a doctor and a dentist. You could like become a SoundCloud rapper and probably make more money, to be honest. I didn't get in this field to become a data scientist. I didn't get in this field to learn machine learning. I got in this field because I like building websites, I like building user interfaces, and that was what I enjoyed doing. That's what a lot of other people enjoyed doing. But now that subset, that pocket is dead. Mostly dead. Is dead enough that a lot of people at that skill level, a lot of people that were thriving in that branch of software engineering or web development are unemployed. They don't know what to do. So that brings me to the final thing I wanted to update you guys on. This is a long video and I'm still eating my burger. Alright. This is a long video, but I'm gonna finish it on a strong note. Coding is not valuable anymore. At least entry to mid-level coding. If you're a genius, yeah, it's valuable. I'm not a genius. Hence this video. Okay, that concludes my opinion on the job market in the tech field. This channel will be about my fitness journey. I've been making a lot of gains. I would like to spread that motivation and positivity to get fit, especially in rough times. So if you're watching this and you have not been working out, go out and work out and get fit. I will be posting physique progress soon. I know it's been like 2 weeks, so maybe I'll do that tomorrow. When I finally land my next upcoming job, I believe I will be investing in more content stuff, possibly going to interesting places and doing vlogs. and investing more in the production of this channel, along with playing guitar. Even though those videos don't get a lot of views, I enjoy doing it. So this will become a lifestyle, motivational health channel. So if you're into that, subscribe and keep watching. There probably will be less or almost no content on web development or software engineering, because, as I just told you, I am not fit for that industry. What else? Oh, last note. A long time ago, I made a video called "I will give a $20 gift card to anyone who develops a simple landing page" as a motivational project. That was about 6 months ago. There's been no entries, so I'm very disappointed. Yeah, no one claimed the $20 gift card. So if you're watching this, I don't know. I guess it's still there. I'm gonna just leave it there until someone does something. But anyways, that is my life update. In 20 minutes, I talk too much. Subscribe and stop stalking me. If you're an employer, well, you don't even pay me anymore, so stop watching me too. Anyways, done.